It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Whoops. So, welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, or a little later if Smeggy refuses to join the hangout. 7 p.m. Eastern, that's 4 Pacific, about an hour or 90 minutes every day. We run it live on YouTube, and we simulcast it over at gunchannels.com, where we watch the live comments that are coming in from everybody that watches us live. We also take the audio when it's all over and post that on iTunes as a podcast intermittently. I don't do it every single day anymore because we don't get much feedback over there. So we do ask people that are listening to the show now or in the future to do us the favor, the personal favor. We're asking this every single day. I don't get paid anything to ask this. I'm asking it because we really appreciate it when you let us know where you're listening. But you can do that by commenting on the video. When you comment on it live, it's great. But when you comment on it tomorrow or the next day, it's even better. It's like gravy on top, or like gravy on top of French fries, as Bob would have it. And if you let us know you're over on iTunes, that helps a lot. Then we know there's somebody over there, and it's worth the effort and the cost to post that thing as a podcast over there. So we do appreciate that favor that people do. There's 5 hosts. I don't know where Smeggy is, but we got Dano jumping in from Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Yep, glad to be here.
We got Bob, who's normally in Canada, who has snuck out of Canada and is now hiding out in Arizona. Thanks for jumping in. He's afraid that I outed him right there.
Oh, yeah, glad to be here.
I think he's glad to be here.
It's like he's being oppressed by the heat.
Seriously. I've spent years in...
I need a new microphone, I think.
Well, quit plugging in that microphone. We always tell you it sounds just fine without any microphone, and every time you plug in the microphone, you got this issue.
Well, what I mean is I'm using the microphone on the laptop, and it's not working now either.
Oh, it sounds actually really, really good right now. So, what are you going to do? And then there's Smeggy, finally showing up 12 minutes late.
You're late to school. Late to school, Mr. Smeg.
It turns out he asked Bob to punch in for him, but Bob narked instead of doing it.
Okay, truthfully, I forgot.
So go pick up yourself out a switch.
And that way we are that's the host. Then we'll see I'm down here in Arizona as well. Then we'll see Z jumping in a while from Maui when he's done with one of his 9-to-5 jobs. So today is episode number 302. We're going to be talking about the concept of Trump's winning the election and its relationship to the lack of Second Amendment activism, if that is in fact the situation. Then we do a good idea, bad idea on Tuesdays. So we'll talk about clearing your house versus holding up in one room. And then Smeggy, if he ever says anything along with Z, we'll do the #Daily Gun Show Showdown, which is traditionally done on Tuesdays.
I say stuff.
Okay. Just want to make sure your mic worked. So, or we want to make sure we didn't have like a zombie Smeggy running around.
Seeing you were late for the check-in.
Well, I couldn't get in with the other link. Normally, both types are provided, and my little trick didn't work. So I needed the other type.
Excuses.
It's not an excuse. It's a reason why I didn't join. The link didn't work. I needed the other one.
Fluffy man.
All right.
Where were you in Every Second Matters giving me shit?
Yeah, Smeggy's 2 hours plus into this chatting situation today already. So then we've got our normal stuff that we do on the regular, the gun shop of the day, the gun movie of the day, the gun of the day. But before we get into the show, we usually take a break at the beginning like this to see if anything happened overnight or is there anything worth talking about. Like Every Second Matters, which just got done having a 2-hour show.
Which I think was a pretty good show.
Yeah, Smeggy had a ton of research done. So we talked about quite a few states. And I think that the structure that we built it in now, like last couple of months, where we have the room for each state individually, I think that makes for a good show because, like I was saying, my strategy is when somebody posts something on gun channels on the main news feed or on their channel or something, and I see it, I usually copy it over to Becca Matters if I take a minute. Smeggy sounds like he sits down and does, intentionally fills up every second matters some places. So I think, that combination of efforts makes for a good show because then we can just talk about all the stuff that's been accumulated over the month, right?
Oh, exactly. And let me tell you, when I go to post something over there and I see it already has a spot and I just maybe add like a link or two or something, that makes me happy. Because I'm like, oh, it's already exists. I just have to, add a little bit to it.
Smeg, I know your co-host on Miss or Missed a Lot, Tuesdays at 9.
What? You just made fun of me because I'm hit, and you just turned me into Miss and him into Miss a Lot. So I don't like that. Anyways, what about him?
To discuss currently what's going on in Illinois in regards to the gun shops. But I'm wondering if, so I don't want to steal that topic away from your show, but I'm wondering if you could just give us a 1 or 2 sentence summary of that.
Sure. Basically, Illinois wants to have some type of firearm seller license, kind of like the federal FFL. And they've decided if you sell more than 9 guns in a year, you're a gun seller. You need to have that permit or those registrations or whatever. Probably going to be a bunch of money. Probably going to run small companies out of business because they already have to deal with the FFL, and now they're going to have to deal with the state level permit registration type thingy also.
As well as individual citizens that if you want to buy more than 9, like let's say you buy some but then sell some and then want to replace it with something else, well, your grand total for a year, if it goes to 10, you won't be allowed to buy that 10th item.
That's incorrect.
No, that's wrong.
But you can't sell a 10th gun. You could sell 9, and then if you need a little bit of money to pay your bills, you can't sell that 10th one.
And it's still not true. That's not true because it was like 3 or 4 down from there, Smeggy. Remember that we found the one that said, another exception to that 10 rule, which is a definition. One of the exceptions to it is someone who's offloading a collection or somebody that's offloading inheritance. So there are exceptions for the things that I saw as concerns. Now, that is by no means justification for this infringement. It is simply clarification so that we're combating it correctly and we don't get dismissed because of our incorrect details. It doesn't actually go after the individual. It attempts to clarify or define, I guess, for the law, what creates what turns you into a dealer, quote unquote, in Illinois now, if this thing passes. So it's not that it puts infringements on an individual. It just says that if you act in a certain way, like you sell more than 1 gun a month for a commercial basis, then they're going to go ahead and say you crossed the line and now you have to be infringed upon by having a state gun license.
Are you saying that an individual citizen can buy more than 9 guns?
There's nothing in there at all about buying guns. So first off, President Tony wanted to make it really clear, and he did successfully, that it has nothing to do with buying guns at all. It only talks about transfers of an FFL outgoing, so sales, and transfers mean sales. So it has nothing to do with how many guns you purchase.
Okay, so private sales, which are now run through the state, we have to, unfortunately, as well as FFLs.
Now, I don't know nothing about your universal background checks. This is strictly all we were doing is literally, because Tony brought up some concerns that people were jumping on this news, this story, without all the details. And his concern was that it was unwarranted, I guess. So we spent this other show we call Every Second Matters, like 2 hours digging into that Illinois thing. Like literally the letter, it's a 65 pages type.
I think like the first hour was all about Illinois and the controversy around it. And then the last hour was everything else.
Yeah. So we spent quite a bit of time reading the actual law, and it does have basically, it sets itself up. Basically, the state of Illinois says, we don't like the idea of gun shops just going around willy-nilly. We need to know that anybody who's in the business of selling guns is a gun shop. The federal laws aren't enough for us. So we're going to say, here's a set of criteria. And if you do any of these things, you're going across any of these lines, now we think of you as a gun shop and you need to be licensed as such. So they give you this whole big thing. And one of them is more than 9 or 10 or more transactions or whatever a year. And then, or transfers a year. And then, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might mean any transfer because we didn't really clarify that, but it really doesn't matter. They're going to say if you, for business, transfer 10 guns a year, then you are a business of a gun dealer. And then, because my immediate thing is, screw that. I mean, what if you inherit 10 guns from your stepfather and you don't want them and you want to sell them and not just throw them into a lake, which would be dangerous. So you try to get rid of them. Even if you gave them to a buyback, a stupid police incorrectly labeled buyback, that would technically be transferring more than 10 guns. So the police would say, thank you for all your guns that we confiscated from you. And then you're also under arrest. So it's a ridiculous thing. But then when you get into the couple of lines down, they have exceptions for, of course, no military and police are affected. And then there's an exception for if you're, like I say, inherited, or if you're, it literally says, if you're collecting guns, if you have 2 or more guns that are similar and you collect them, it pretty much says if you collect them for any reason, then it's a collection and this doesn't apply. So there's definitely room to wiggle, but it's still a massive infringement for a state to suggest that they have any reason to regulate, more importantly, tax the individual who decides to sell some amount of firearms. I think it's ridiculous.
Right. Like the state's better at doing it than the FFL thing already. Like you already got to go through all this stuff to get the FFL.
It really just prohibits individual entrepreneurism and small business. And then I guess, of course, the 2 companies paid, I don't know if we want to get into all that as well, right?
Yeah.
They paid $50,000 a piece to have this PR firm basically back this idiot bill. Now, they think their claim, if I understand it, and I'll be honest, I didn't put a heck of a lot of effort into paying attention to their point of view. I'm gonna allow them to have a point of view, but I really think it's their responsibility to deal with the repercussions of whatever actions they took. But basically, they hired a PR firm. Tony did an interview with them, so you can talk to you can listen to the Rock River person talking to Tony on the phone on his video over at Artisan Tony on YouTube, and it's like 16 minutes long. 13 minutes of it is the telephone conversation between the 2 of them, and it sounds like their story is that they hired this PR firm, and that the PR firm acted in the best interest of them, the people that hired them, but didn't pay attention to the repercussions for everybody else, and that it was done without their knowledge and without their backing, and they've since become aware of it and rescinded all backing to that bill. But I also was saying that's $50,000. 2 different companies put $50,000, empowered somebody with $100,000 worth of gun money, and said, go do stuff that we're not going to pay attention to. That's a hell of a lot of trust that was obviously unwarranted. And I don't think that a company gets to say, oops, it's not our fault.
It'd be like a gun company had hiring an advertisement firm and not saying going in for final approval before they put it out on radio, TV, etc. I mean, it's ridiculous. Of course, somebody saw something.
And then, yeah, and that's, I guess, the thing. And then we had a bit of a discussion on whether or not the amount of coverage and the lack of research or lack of specifics is justifiable or warranted, or if it's, well, I don't know. There's lots of facets to it, I guess. But anyway, an interesting situation. I think there's always something to be gained from it, though. I mean, it hasn't passed yet. It hasn't passed yet. Still got to go to your governor.
Right. My other question is, other than the regulation on how they do it and the paperwork, are there some fees involved?
I didn't read it all. We only read that exception paragraph, or like 7 paragraphs of exceptions.
Oh, okay.
It's completely legalese, so it's tedious. And we were talking, so it wasn't really conducive to reading it at all. Plus, I don't live in Illinois, so to be honest, I'm not going to read 65 pages of Illinois law. But I'm assuming there was big-ass fees. Why else would the government do anything, right?
There definitely were fees. I don't know exactly what they were, but that was kind of the whole point why people are mad about it, is because small like mom and pop type stores. They already have their FFL fees and all their other stuff that goes, all their overhead. Now they're going to have a fee to register with the state of Illinois as well. So that's annoying.
Tony's saying on the YouTube side, but why have a lobbyist to create gun laws if you are a gun manufacturer? And I agree with them that I doubt that they put that they spent all that much money on a lobbyist and said, go hurt people. But instead, it sounds like potentially it could have been like everyone assumed this law was going to pass. So this lobbyist on behalf of a few companies said, hey, what can I do to keep my companies out of this? And then somebody said, sign on, and then we can say the gun companies are on board so that we can make sure it passes, and then we'll make sure that it doesn't apply to you all. And if that's the case, if that PR firm was just trying to make lemonade out of lemons, well, you don't fucking make lemonade with communist lemons. You let the fucking communists fucking die with their lemons, in my mind. But that's a whole other subject. So basically, did they deliberately go out there and create this law? I doubt it. I don't think anybody really thinks that. But were they negligently irresponsible with $100,000 of gun money, money that should be being spent on organizations that are pro-gun? Then I think so. And do they get to call, not my bad, like, oops? I think that's tough. That's,
it is their money to decide how they wish to spend it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Well, again, let's say somebody spends a bunch of money, and then let's say you spend a bunch of money on art. You go, I think the world isn't pretty enough, so I'm going to spend a bunch of money on art. And then the guy goes out and uses his First Amendment right to draw dicks all over something. And then you're like, okay, well, it's my right to do it, and you can't tell me what to do. I can still say, well, you chose bad, stupid shit to draw art of, so I'm not going to go walk down in front of your store.
I'm just saying, it is a private company. They have the right to drive themselves out of business.
Well, that's a good point. And that's where I think we also had a bit of a discussion on, obviously, is this stuff warranted? And that might be debatable. But my thing is, do we have to continue to always approach this stuff the same way? I don't think we are. It seems like we're approaching this stuff the same way, but I think each time we're incrementally become more aware, we're more frustrated, and we understand that there's futility in just shaking our fists at the sky, right? So more and more people are, I think, figuring out positive ways to use this. And I think that a portion of it is okay because nothing else happened at NRA except that frickin' Springfield stuck a hammer on a stupid gun. Now everybody thinks that's some significant difference. Like, let's make the gun even more stupid. And then that would have been the big news from NRA. Or
now, one thing,
or what did Trump smile at?
I just want to mention to those of you that are interested in being proactive on this issue, if you go to NRA-ILA in the call to action section, they do have an area there for this where you can simply just fill out the basics of a form and send it to, if you live in Illinois, it'll go to your representative. That's the House of Representatives in Illinois, as well as a copy to the governor. But they'll also accept it even if you're not a resident of Illinois. So I would encourage those of you that are interested in being proactive, and I hope that would be a good portion of our audience, to please consider doing so. Go to NRA-ILA and call to action.
I would suggest calling the governor. You guys got time, so put the number to the governor out there and encourage people to call him and tell him not to let that crap pass. It shall not pass.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get that number for tomorrow's show, but it still has to go through the House before then.
Right, and that's what I just got done doing on Instagram.
It didn't. What are you talking about, Dano? It's gone through both. It's only waiting on the governor.
I believe that's incorrect, G-Webs.
I thought I read the thing and it said it had passed both the Senate and the House and was now waiting just for the governor.
Well, maybe there's some obfuscation of the facts. Is like, I got an email this afternoon from the NRA-ILA on this exact issue saying to send action now to my Illinois House representative.
What blog was it on?
Yeah, I that's what the blog said, was that it had passed both. But I think I don't think I mentioned it at the time, but I was just looking at it, right? So, so it's Senate Bill 1657. And when I go to the ilga.gov legislator bill status, blah, 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 whatever, and scroll down here to bill history. As of 428, House referred to Rules Committee. That's the most updated.
Well, then there's plenty of time. Then we can definitely use this to our advantage. And if Springfield and Rock River take a spanking on it, tough, then they should be happy because any publicity is good publicity. They got the opportunity now to spend a shit ton of money on doing everything they can to oppose this bill, so that $100,000 that they spent to make it happen doesn't become an issue for everybody else, their future customers. But I think as individuals just paying attention to this, we've got the opportunity to look at it and observe it and do nothing, right? Just watch it happen and go, oh, see, that always happens. Or we can do something, and if that we can figure out something, and instead of just watching it rain and watch the mud fall down the hill and then scoop up the mud, we can figure out how to build a damn wall so that we channel that mud to go in some direction that it does us some use. And that's maybe one way to do it.
I do have the phone number. I'll read it again later in the show. But the general information number for the Office of Governor is area code 217-782-0244. I'll read it again. 217-782-0244.
So Charles Heller, the guy that does the radio show on Sunday morning?
Right, yep.
I got this trick from him. He'll say 217-782-0244. That's 217-782-0244. No, seriously, that gets both type of brains, and it makes people comprehend the number better.
Oh.
So you say 217-782-0244. So I just said each number, and then I go back again and say the same thing to repeat it so somebody can write it down. 217-782-0244. And by doing that, it's some mind thing where it locks it into both types of mind thought patterns.
I guess I'd find it confusing, but.
Oh, well, except for Dano. Dano freaks out and starts trying to scribble.
Right, because I definitely, when I'm hearing numbers like, hearing 57, my brain remembers 57 better than it remembers 5-7. So it's kind of shorthand. But anyways, that's an interesting note.
Because he does it on the radio, so he's always having to dictate them. All right, so
we can get into the show now?
I guess I feel like we solved Illinois. Maybe even the Second Amendment. We didn't even get into the show yet. So now let's talk about apathy. Second Amendment. Will election of Trump reduce activism due to complacency? Maybe that's what it's supposed to say. Will the election of Trump, or has the election of Trump, reduce activism due to complacency? Is this one of those questions that we asked way before the election, and then we said, we're going to talk about this way after? I think that's where this came from.
That's possible, because it definitely sounds like it's in the future, the way that's worded.
This is future tense posted in the past and now in the incorrect tense.
Now in the present.
In the present. I feel like I should post it again sometime in the future again, so we have to deal with it. But anyway, so what's the result been? I hate to say it, but I think it has been, because I guess maybe because I had such high hopes that all that anti-Hillary or that Hillary anxiety, right? The Clinton anxiety, I was hoping that would have needed a release and then created a massive backlash in like Hearing Protection Act, bam, lawful use, bam, repeal the Hughes, bam, NFA, bam. Then before they knew it, there's just the universal background check shit. We don't even have 4473 anymore. There aren't even FFLs. People are buying and selling across state line on eBay. It's just crazy. By now, first 100 days.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's what I anticipated. So for me,
well, I think you got your hopes up a little too high there.
Unrealistic? I don't think so. But
yeah, I would say there is a little bit of that, but I was a little encouraged. I actually heard an interview with I always forget his last name, Alan, Second Amendment Foundation guy. I forget his last name. What the heck? Awesome.
Yeah, the guy with the bow tie.
Yeah, Mr. Whipley or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gottlieb.
Gottlieb.
Alan Gottlieb or whatever, something like that. You guys should know him. He's awesome. But he was doing an interview, and he was super encouraged that they're going to get a lot of stuff passed because of Trump. So maybe it's just not like right this second, but if he's encouraged, because he's in the thick of it. I mean, this is what he does. So if he's encouraged, that made me encouraged. So he's definitely like, it's time to put the pedal to the metal. We're going to get all this stuff. Like, we're going gun-ho for everything. And that's awesome to hear, which is why I'm glad I'm a life member of the Second Amendment Foundation, because they are awesome. So I think there is still hope out there. I can understand G-Web's frustration of having such high hopes and then it not happening overnight. But I don't think that's in any way to be discouraged. We just have to keep going ourselves. And, I guess maybe in the like social media realm or something, not many people are talking about it or whatever. Well, that's all of us, right? So we can just make videos and make comments and put Instagram posts and all this stuff that will get out there, and maybe we can rally the troops to say, you know what? Yeah, we slacked off a little bit at first. We're off our high now. Like, we're coming down. Now it's time to get work done, and hopefully we can pick that momentum back up.
And it's ironic today, and I can't remember the source. I read an article that indirectly this relates to the subject, and that's that gun sales for the month of April were slightly larger than the gun sales from a year ago. Am I interrupting something?
Yeah, is this a pop quiz going on or what?
Wait a minute. Are you saying this is an answer ambush out of nowhere? Totally unscheduled? An answer ambush is happening right now? Yes, it is. So first person on both either the gun channel side or the YouTube side to correctly identify the answer to the number of rounds of 40 that were in that blender jar, minus 10 plus 4.
Ooh. You need some history of watching the show before, and you need to be good at math.
Sorry for interrupting there. I didn't realize you were doing a thing.
What's an answer ambush?
Nobody knows when an answer ambush is happening.
42.
Oh, there we go.
Matt
42. 48.
Matt has won it. Matt has won it.
So 42 is the answer. Congratulations, Matt, on the answer ambush. That was quick.
Answer ambushes don't take a lot of time.
It's not like this pop quiz thing.
So we're going to send you over to the dailygunshow.com, which
Hey.
is our website. There's a page over there for the pop quiz. I'm going to use that, and we're going to send you over there to grab a patch off the panel and let us know where to send it underneath of there. But who was that? Matt?
Yep.
Right on. So, Matt, you are the winner of today's answer ambush. I'm sorry to interrupt whoever I interrupted. We can continue.
Go ahead, Smeggy. Give it your own twist.
Good job. You're the ambush king of the day.
Answer ambush?
Answers in a bush? What? Burning bush. You are the burning bush of the day.
That's your own
Smeggy
twist.
lost
Hold
his
on.
mind.
I said four. I said the number of rounds in the blender minus 10 plus 4.
I knew we should have a rehearsal for this show for some reason.
Nah, that's how answer ambush rolls. I like it.
Ambush answers to nobody.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
really-
apparently, so do the special effects.
Right down there, your special effects spot is still in the show. It's just once in a while when the ambush happens, you can't know about it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an ambush. So we can't get you to do the sound effects.
I'm not participating in it. I'm not like a contestant.
But it's an ambush even on the hosts. That's the whole point.
Well, I got slapped upside the head the other day when I did my tactical pop quiz and I interrupted somebody.
crying out loud. So, but Dano,
We're crying out loud.
Bob, can you give Dano our boilerplate for this situation?
Oh, don't even go there. I will mute you in a heartbeat.
Okay. You know what, Dano? You know what? Honestly, you really.
He got muted. All right, so that'll take us. I don't know. Were we done with that subject? I don't know. It's debatable, and I had high hopes, and I don't know. I don't think there's anybody running around saying this is the best time for the Second Amendment that we've ever had, is there? We didn't get the Hearing Protection Act.
No, we have not gotten the. Where's the silencers, suppressors?
That was the Hearing Protection Act.
Yeah.
And
Feel the NFA.
also, the whole thing was, I watched Trump not specifically say he was going to do anything. It was more like, don't worry, it's not going to get worse. That's really the impression I got. It was like, I really support you. I'll never lose it. But you know what? He never said anything he was going to do for us. What we have, or what you guys have.
Yeah, it was not exactly a inspiring speech.
Well, all right. So we can address this one again. We kind of got sloppy today. Illinois isn't helping nothing. But and it was interesting that we didn't plan this, because I'm really positive we put this thing in here way before the election. I just randomly picked some date in the future. I didn't realize that Trump would be at the NRA show, or that the NRA show coincided with this topic. But I guess there's probably more we could talk about that. I haven't seen his speech, though. So maybe we can address this one of these days. I don't know. Have you guys all seen the speech? His NRA speech?
I haven't.
So at least a couple of us haven't seen it. So we'll maybe address this one again. And then, of course,
I made a point of watching it as soon as it became available on the NRA feed. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Well, some of us ain't retired, and some of us have to somehow pay bills every once in a while.
And also, I don't feel so bad about you guys ignoring me after the Answer Ambush thing, because apparently I had unplugged my headset. So I'm not as cranky as I was. But just know that I was yelling at everyone.
Listen to me. How dare you speak over me?
Yeah, I basically was like, whatever, doesn't matter. But one thing I did want to say about that is encouraging, you got a company like Dan Wesson handing out hats at the NRA show that says Dan Wesson, like kind of small, and then repeal the NFA, like right underneath it. And so I think that's pretty cool of a company to go out on a limb when they don't really have anything to gain other than they're just pro rights. And I thought that was cool.
Well, I think that's something. I'm reading the comments on the YouTube and the gun channel site. I'm thinking that maybe what we can do as a project for next month, and I'm going to put it into the daily gun show schedule so that I remember it, but as a project for next month's Every Second Matters, how to do like a dashboard or like a menu of what is going on, so that, or no, more like a tally board, because there's things like little things like the Social Security medical being responsible for yourself thing that he got rid of. That was an Obama executive action. I don't know if I'm missing. Did he actually rescind the one that blocked the 1911s, or are we just all speculating that he's gonna?
I'm not sure about that one.
But I know a lot of people are super encouraged that the 1911s and some Grands or those carbines or something are going to be coming back to the whatever the gun giveaway thing for kids that everybody stole. The CMP. They're gonna, everybody seems pretty certain that we're gonna see these guns at the CMP. I don't know if that's actually happened or if everybody's just assuming it's gonna happen. But anyway, we should probably keep track, because there's also some changes. I don't know, maybe have like a green or red arrow for each state, because it's, sometimes we forget about some of the gains we've got with concealed carry keeps going up or constitutional carry keeps going up everywhere. We get some wins too out there, and we don't want to forget about the wins and just concentrate on the negatives.
Right, yeah. And if you listen to Every Second Matters, almost all the stuff was pro. There was only a couple of antis this last month. So that's good. I like that. Yeah, we can do something like that.
Put a note in our notes so that we'll, because I know wherever I put the notes for every Second Matters, I don't know where I put them, so they didn't do me any good this month. All right, so I think we're going to head into our second segment then. Kind of right on time, 45 minutes per segment. So before we do, we always take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels, like we mentioned before, is a place we built focused on firearms. It's a community and it's membership driven. With that in mind, we like to feature one of the members over there each day. And today, I don't know how to say her name. Is that Shrea? No. Shrea?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing myself.
I think it's Sherry, but I'm reading it wrong. But I think it's Sherry. But anyway, she hasn't been around enough for us to know how to say it. And I only got introduced to her in real life once. But she's here in Tucson, and she's an activist on the Instagram quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure on YouTube. I think her and her friends all go out and shoot quite a bit. And when #Tactical and some of the others girls got together for the Rock Your Rights podcast that they did for a short time, every other Monday for a while, from like an all girls podcast that didn't have, I think they had a male guest once in a while, but for the most part, it was all female Second Amendment activism type of chat. She was one of the participants there. So we don't give enough recognition to the girls that are members of Gun Channels. There's not enough of them. So if you're listening to this and you're new to Gun Channels or you're thinking about checking it out, bring your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, your mom. We need more chicks. There's a lot of chicks. We were talking about the ratio of girls to guys at the NRA show. We need more girls in the conversation. So we know they're out there. We know they're part of everybody's family. So probably about 50% of gun owners are women, I'm sure, or at least a chunk of that, or at least are in the same households with guns. So why not give them or have them participate in the conversation? So anyway, glad that Sherry was part of efforts towards that on Gun Channels, and in the bigger sense, not just Gun Channels, but just in general, having a bunch of girls get together and do a podcast from their angle about their issues in the firearms realm on the activism side, not just like what purse is most comfortable or what, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This was all like, what could be done and that kind of thing. So I think that's great. And it's an inspiration for the girls out there that are, looking up. They don't want to, I don't know how much inspiration they're getting from five of us big fat white guys talking about stuff all the time.
As well as the women and the ladies, we make sure we're not, being ageist, because we like to be kind of politically correct here. Yeah, but anyway,
that doesn't get like he doesn't fall over or have some kind of a. Go ahead, Bob.
I was just going to say, but yeah, I really used to watch that podcast all the time because it was interesting to see a female's point of view. Most of the females I've, been associated with in my life are not pro-gun. Being from Canada, it's generally not, as common as it is down here. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting to get their point of view on it, and that show was back on. I mean, much as it would be kind of competing with us. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting show, and I thought Jerry was a pretty interesting person to be part of that podcast. So, yeah, thumbs up.
Okay, before we move on, I'd just like to take a minute here. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, I'd like to ask you to take a moment and please click on subscribe to Daily Gun Show. The more subscribers we have, the more the potential exists for us to do bigger and better things for the show. So if you are listening on YouTube, please take a moment to subscribe. It's the YouTube alert. This is the YouTube alert. Run for your lives. YouTube is after us. Yes, it's time for the tactical pop quiz of the day. So, who would like to be my assistant today? Any volunteers from the audience?
From the audience? Why would the audience participate?
Okay, well, I mean, of the people that cannot participate. So, any of my co-hosts?
Your audience?
I see the answer provided.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Smeggy, you are elected. Do you see the answer?
Yeah.
Yes?
Let's roll.
Well, can you sound a little bit less enthused?
I can try to sound less enthused. I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's possible, although I think you probably could. Okay, so the question for today is, and make sure your cursor's down in the box. You got your fingers all limbered up. The question is, and I want a first and last name. That's a hint. Who invented the LAR grizzly? L-A-R. Who invented the LAR grizzly? L-A-R, grizzly. First and last name.
Was it Lars from Metallica?
So close so far.
Oh, I tried.
No answers. No answers at all. You've stumped them. Did this one come in
That's
from
okay.
somebody? Did this one get sent in by somebody?
You know, no, I dug this one up myself. I don't have, wait a minute.
There we go.
There we go. Nodak 357. It is, you are our winner for today. It is Perry Arnett.
Oh man, ours and Tony right behind him on YouTube. God, dude.
So, Nodak, you know what to do. But as always, head on over to dailygunshow.com/popquiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second choice, and congratulations, you are our tactical pop quiz winner for today.
So, that makes you the tactical hot shot winner of the day.
You are freaking fired.
All right, Dano. We'll have to talk to you later.
Your bonus is being retracted. That check in the mail that you've been waiting for, keep waiting.
So every time we have a winner, we send them over to our website, dailygunshow.com, and we have a page over there with a picture of a patch panel. Every so often, we send patches out that people have requested, and it was a couple of weeks this time. So we took a picture of them before we stuck them all in the envelopes there. So you can see the assortment of stuff that went out. Thanks to everybody who's participates in the show live and in the tactical quiz. We talked a little bit about the, what do you call them, the whole positions yesterday. Well, we have a couple of people that are competing at the, they're just about to hit 40 wins. We have lots and lots of people that are still winning at the 1 or double digits. So lots of interesting patches going out. We have a bunch of new ones coming in, it sounds like, from people that grabbed them for us at the NRA show. And we also want to say thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you think about those patches there, and I got that in the picture there, that's a bunch of postage. It costs about 67 or 88 cents, depending on how heavy those envelopes are when they head out, because we want to ensure that they get where they're going. That adds up. So I think we came out to about $30 or something a month that we're spending on shipping last month. And that's paid for by our Patreon supporters. So while we don't have any sponsors of the show, our goal is to be run or whatever, supported by our audience. The whole concept of the new media and the participation by many with a little bit is working out, and it's allowing us to, not have to put out money for the shipping. So we do appreciate that, and we're glad to see some of those were our designs. Some of what that 9mm M&M looking guy was designed by Auto Loader or Moon over on Gun Channels. A couple of those patches were from Battle Patches. He had an issue with his cat and he needed some extra funds, so he put a bunch of his patches on sale. So I bought a couple and put them on the board. That full auto zone and the shells were his. The Green Beret Foundation was sent in by somebody, so appreciate that. Raphael got that one. Then some of them, of course, are ours. And then like the Gem Tech and the dead air suppressors were donated by companies to participate in what we're doing here. So been fun. And to see, we had an answer ambush today. You missed it.
And we do have some viewer input
We had a
on
what?
the tactical hot shot that you missed, Z. And I'm just going to read a couple of the comments. One was, I don't want to be the hot shot if that's all I get, Smeg. Another one, curb your enthusiasm. and the last one is funny. So thought it was pretty good. So
Reiterating. You're missed very much when you're not here, Z.
I hear you, man. It's a dang
Oh,
daylight
come on
savings
now.
time.
It's
It falls apart.
He's missing his Red Bull. He needs Red Bull or something.
Mountain Dew.
Well, I need to cut my toe off, but other than that, I'm fine.
All right, so we're about to get into the good idea, bad idea. We're all into we're almost at the second segment, Z. So today's good idea, bad idea is clearing the house versus holding up in one room. So I'm going to assume then it means, is clearing the house a good idea or a bad idea? So that it's not just yes, you don't have to vote. So is clearing the house, as opposed to staying in one room, a good idea or a bad idea? Bob?
Oh, I know what Bob's going to say.
We all do. Well, he'll say something when he
Well,
comes
maybe
back.
he can say it.
No,
How about Dan?
I'll say it right now. It's just getting a glass of water for the dog. It so depends on the situation.
Oh, come on. You know the format. Good idea, bad idea.
You have to protect.
2 words. Good idea, bad idea.
Bad idea.
Okay, Dano?
Maybe you hesitated. Fucking terrible. Oh, excuse me. Bad idea.
Z. Z.
Well, there's a problem. Holding up would be about the same for the size of place that I have as clearing the house.
Well, seeking out the noise at night or calling in for 911.
No, you don't understand. Like if they come, like I don't have a bedroom door. Like literally, if they came in my door, there's no.
Well, for the sake of the question, let's assume
So
that
let's pretend you have a different house.
There's no holding up in one room. Okay, I'm gonna go with what Smeggy said.
Yeah, assume it's a one-bedroom room.
I'm gonna say hold up.
Interesting.
Well, especially if that's where my firearms happen to be and everything like that, and I don't have children.
Come on, we're going to discuss it in a second. Smeggy?
Bad idea.
All right, and I'm saying good idea. I can't believe I'm the only one. It's a good idea.
Bastard. How can you say good idea?
How can you suggest that every time a grown man's going to hear a bump in the night, he's going to call the cops? That's a ridiculous
I didn't say call the cops.
You're
the
the
one
one
that
stay in your room all night while the faucet's dripping or the window blew open and it's raining inside?
Oh, I thought, wait a minute. I didn't think it was bumping the night stuff. I thought it was somebody has come into your house.
Exactly.
There's a subtle difference.
Okay, so maybe there was some implication there that we're not all in the same boat. So now we're changing it to, is it a good idea or a bad idea to go clear the house when you know 100% there's a dude out there?
I like that better. I like that way better.
Okay, are you guys going to keep your same?
And again,
I'm going to say with bad idea, yeah.
I'm staying with good idea. What if your kids are in another room? Come on.
It's a one-bedroom apartment. They're in the
that's right. Is if you've got kids in the other room, then I'm gonna go check on the kids. But otherwise,
the question was hold up in a room. Why can you not hold up in the kids' room?
All right, I guess that's an option.
But then you would have to clear all the way to the kids' room, and I don't know how we're married, but I wanted the kids as far away from the mom and dad's bedroom as possible.
Wait, so Bob, are you saying you would still hide in the room even if you had the kids? Or are you saying you would clear to them?
I would clear, yeah, I would clear. Just because, there's always the off chance that, one of them will get in the line of fire, and that's one less mouth to feed. Hey. No, that's a joke. No, everybody knows that's a joke, right? That's just a joke. No, I would have to clear it and make sure my kids were safe. But,
Right. If everyone's upstairs, then, I'm going to get to the top of the stairs and that's my line in the sand type of thing. So it's like, all right, if they come down by the stairs like they're coming up, then they're getting shot. But if not, I'm not going to go clear the house.
Unless I hear him say, okay, you pour the gas and I'll get the lighter ready. And at that point, I'll shoot some people. Before the lighter or the gas gets poured. So yeah, I like your idea, Smeggy.
It's funny you guys are talking about this. I was reading an article today from the city of Detroit. I don't want to call him a kid. He's a young man. But actually, he's a kid. Is possibly going to prison for 20 years because his house, the family house, had been broken into recently there was been breaking into the neighbor's house in like the area recently, and two people did not identify themselves as they were up and flashing lights, flashlights and stuff like that. And he shot through the window. And it just so happened that they were police officers, and they didn't happen to have their lights going on the car. There had been no siren. They did not identify themselves as police officers. And this kid is potentially going to prison for 20 years because of this. So
he shot through the window to the outside. The cops were like shining a flashlight through the outside.
I believe that is what happened, and that's probably what's going to get the kid. No,
yeah,
I'm only relating that
through barriers to an outside to try and.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Get the people before they come in or whatever.
I mean, clearly it was not a justified shooting. There's no question of that. But do we know the age of the kid?
I don't remember if he was 17, 18, 19, or 20. He was somewhere in there. I don't think he could have a beer yet. That's why I say he was under 21. But that's not 100% what we're talking about. But it comes into what we are talking about is we talked about hearing a sound, thinking somebody's just broken into the house, going and checking it out. And he thought he was just defending his family and his house. Now, granted, know the laws in your state, know the laws in your area, because sometimes state laws may be preempted by some stupid town baloney. I don't know. I don't know where y'all live.
The biggest lesson to learn on that one is that, you
don't shoot through the wall to go outside.
He probably would have been okay. Like, it still would have been bad, but he would have been justified because they were in his house. He didn't know who they were. But by being in your house and shooting out of it towards something you don't know, that's where the trouble comes.
Well, that's wrong in every state. You just can't.
There are states where you have a duty to retreat and you cannot defend your home. So clearing the house in some states will be illegal. Excuse me. Not the act of actually clearing the house, but doing anything about it should you find an intruder.
That's actually a good point, because then the prosecutor's going to say, look, he was out looking for him. He was trying to get him. Like,
he can be looked at as the aggressor.
But I didn't even take that in consideration when I said, I just think, tactically speaking, I'm not trained at clearing a house. I don't really know the best way to do it. And if it's me versus a couple of people, it's that whole thing. About the closest thing I have is video games, where you jump through a room, you either look to the left or you look through the right. You can't look both ways. And if there's someone on either side of the door, you're going to look the wrong way once. Like, if you look to the left, the guy on the right's going to get you. If you look to the right, the guy on the left's going to get you. And not knowing who's in the house, I'd rather know, okay, there's nothing behind me. This is my line in the sand. If anyone comes into view and past this line of sand, then they're in trouble.
Artisan Tony does make a point. Castle doctrine usually applies inside the home in most states. Right. Correct. But not every state has castle doctrine.
So I'd like to kind of hear
why it applies on the inside of the castle, not the outside of the castle.
I guess
well,
you're busy or something?
Taking it too far out of a topic, and we can easily make this another topic for another day. I don't think we're going to agree. It's not tactically prudent necessarily, but you don't always know when you're in a tactical situation. What sounds like somebody breaking into your house could easily be a cat jumping through an open window that got blown open or broken or something. And you're never going to know unless you go investigate it. And I think that most people are going to, by reflex, investigate anyway, and then realize, oh shit, I should have stayed in my room. That one time out of a million that it actually is something like that, like a bad guy. But my main issue is when you guys start talking about going outside, when people start to scorn the concept of lethal force to protect property, I find that a slippery slope, because if you go outside to figure out what's going on, what's that noise out there? Is that a cat running around? Is that a prowler? Is that a drunk neighbor going to the wrong house. It could be anything, right? You don't know that until you go outside and investigate. And who in the right mind is going to go out and investigate the unknown without means to protect themselves? A cell phone, a flashlight, and a firearm. So, a phone, a flashlight, and a firearm. And if you're going to suggest that you went outside to hunt somebody who's just there for property, that puts a burden on the innocent, participant, the innocent victim, basically, who is just minding their business in their house and went outside to figure out what's going on, and then found out that they're, in some sort of an altercation over property. It's not as though they said, "Oh, I'm going to leave some property out front, wait for the first guy to come look at it, and then shoot him." So that's what it sort of ends up being in court, implied that when there's lethal force or the justification for lethal force over property, that's the situation. So I think, like I said, it's definitely off this topic, but I see it being a part of it. So if we keep telling ourselves it's our job to just defend, it's our job to only, and if you go out to see what's going on in your house, then, and you're armed, then you're going to be perceived as the hunter, the aggressor. Well, then we're losing ground. I don't think that you need to be the aggressor. You're just a prudent person going to see what's going on in your own property. And if the bad guy is the one who creates a situation where lethal force is necessary because of your action to go investigate what's going on, I guess that's why I chose my answer. Although tactically, if you really know, if you can see through your door or something that somebody is in your house, obviously tactically or whatever, it's better to be your back to the wall.
But if you and your family are in a safe place, why would you leave it? Why would you not call 911, let the police walk around the outside of your house? That's what they get paid for.
What is it? What's the joke? That when every second matters, police are only minutes away?
If they break in, then that changes the situation. But if they don't...
What? Do you mean the police will get there faster?
No, I mean...
You're taking a specific situation and then suggesting through implication that that's the way all situations break down, or that's the way it always goes down. And I'm saying I don't think it can be that simplistic, that you can't just say, here's the rule of thumb on that, because it's never that. I mean, how often do people really get their houses broken? Most often it's the latter. It's somebody, cat walking around, or you forgot to let the dog out.
Or kids cutting through the neighborhood late at night.
Yeah. So you got to go investigate that. I don't want people to have to default because of some potentiality that it could be a bad guy, and it's tactically better to stay with your, in your room, that you're never going to go explore. I think most of the time situations are thrust on us. We didn't make a bad decision as lawful gun owners. We don't make the bad decision to get into a lethal force situation. A lethal force situation lets itself known to us because it's happening.
And we've discussed it before in chats that... You want to go, Smegs?
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we have discussed it in chats before that defense of property with lethal force is not legal in all 50 states. Is that also correct, if I remember?
Well, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So, right. So I don't necessarily think that G-Webs is a bad idea. For example, the dude has taken or audited, depending on however he wants to say it. He's definitely taken more than one self-defense class, right? So he may know that if it's him and his pup, will he go investigate? Probably. Is he going to turn on lights and stuff like that? I don't know. Maybe. He knows his space better than anybody else will know his space. And I do agree with you can't call the police for every rustled bottle or whatever that you hear at night. I do agree with that.
On the type of sound, and is it just one sound or one sound and then another sound? And then we hear somebody mumbling. I mean, the devil is literally in the details. And then I say it goes back to, why are you leaving a safe space? A secured safe space. Now, if that changes and they enter, that changes the scenario then.
Well, what if we agree that whenever I go out and clear the house, I'll put on one of them T-shirts that says, "Wherever I am is a safe space."
That sounds like a good compromise. But I just want to say you are definitely persuading me as far as the whole, if you hear a noise thing. Like, I'm not I'm not just going to go hide in my room every time I hear a scary noise. So I guess I do kind of agree with that. But my brain, when I was saying bad idea, was like what Dano said. Like I hear, voices of people saying, "Oh, look, this guy's got a new computer. Let's get that." Like I know there are people in my house. I don't want to go, looking for them necessarily because of tactically. I think it's better to just hang out where you are. But yeah, if I just hear like a bump in the backyard or something, then sure, I would go investigate that.
I want to mention a few things that are being said out in the chat. I think it's Angry. Angry's the one that said lots of times wild animals or something would try to get in through the under porch basement doors, or a drunk fell into the yard. He says he has lots of bars around. And then Robbie, making a joke, but makes a valid point at the exact same time. He's like, I have a cop car out front, beware of dog signs, motion lighting, cameras, and a feisty girl. So if you make it into the house, shit will get real and real fast. No, I mean, like I said, I know he's joking on a level, but he's also serious because, there were several signs to deter. And then, especially with the lighting and the cameras and stuff like that, it seems like those are good things to have, I guess, is what I'm...
Let me just jet in for a second. Smeg, there's a question in the side chat.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Now, I know Sandy's joking, but I'm also not saying that Sandy's to be trifled with either. Some guy in Sandy out on the YouTube side made an interesting comment. And then Tony's out there with if you go outside, what does he say? If you go outside and then you feel your life is threatened, you can still protect yourself, but you may have to answer in civil court anyway. And then he followed on with, it's the same reason Zimmerman was acquitted, even though he followed Martin. He was still able to protect himself. Let's see.
Yeah, what I have to say, I'm not quite sure where this kind of morphed into going outside or not, where I thought the original one was, clearing your house, which kind of implied,
Right.
There's at least something with the house itself.
Tiny little hut. And he said that he had to go outside in order to, investigate a bump.
Well, no, what I'm saying is there's no door on my bedroom, and it literally is 2 steps from my actual door. So if you came in my door, you're practically in my bedroom already. That's how small my spot is. That's why we had to change my situation.
Well, it's not
a
our
regular
fault
sized house
that someone can just like part the grass in your grass hut and just walk right in.
Well, see, that's what happens. I got 2 attack cats and things. Like Robbie said, shit'll get real, but it ain't gonna be pretty.
There are far more 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartments, homes, condos, townhouses than there are studio apartments.
Right.
Which is what you're referring to.
I was able to paint a picture of Z's bedroom.
That's an artist rendering. That's not an actual photo of my spot, but that is an implied.
What can you explain this one then?
Well, everybody needs a set of hands every once in a while.
Okay, she's just bringing you.
And I would choose Mary Ann's hands over Ginger's hands. I'm one of those guys.
And then we also can see Z Ubering a couple.
Yeah, you got to try.
All right. Sorry, we don't have pictures of Dano Ubering. All right, so now we're supposed
to be honest, as far as good idea, bad idea, like we're talking about, like I think that there's going to be exceptions to either side of whether it's a good idea. I mean, Bob made a joke earlier about hearing him talking about, or like you smelling the gasoline and hearing somebody talk about lighting you up for whatever reason, right? So, like, there are definitely different scenarios that are going to require you to do different things. Whether it's gather your children, go to your children's room, get out of the house entirely, this, that, and the other thing. So it seems like there's just so many different scenarios that this is a hard one to pin down with, like a yes or no kind of answer, really.
That's why we tackle the hard issues on the show.
We do hit the hard hitting issues. We do.
All All right,
And this is a subject I think we can come back to in the future, to be honest with you.
I think so too.
Well,
Maybe not necessarily a good idea, bad idea.
Speaking of, because we were talking about like kids and stuff, I don't have kids and I don't have a dog anymore, but if I did, like if my dog ran after a sound and he ran downstairs or something, I'm going down there because he needs backup.
Yep.
So how long
That changes
your
my
dog
answer
run away?
completely.
What'd you say, Bob?
I was just wondering
My
how
dogs didn't
long
run away.
ago that Smeggy's dog ran away because it was Smeggy.
No, my dogs did not run away from me.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, let's move on.
All right. So
Moving on.
it says we're supposed to push people to our website. So we want to encourage people to go check out our website. We have all kinds of fun and excitement over there, such as the patch panel. So you can anticipate what patches you might win. You can study, for the tactical quizzes, and then plan what patch you're going to get. But you could also go over there and check out archives of the old shows. So we have all the shows posted, and you can dig through them. There's a search function, so you can search for shows. Let's see. We also have on the main page some links to our other channels out there. Where I always ask in at the beginning of each show for our listeners and people that watch or follow the show to participate in our various channels on the different platforms. So we have links to our gun channels, of course. And even though we blow over it all the time, there's a channel over here on Gun Channel. So if you can go up here and click like and subscribe, we'd appreciate it. We have 41 followers and 52 likes. We do appreciate that. Even, Gun Channels is a platform. But aside from that, we have links to iTunes. So we ask a lot of times for people to give us some feedback on iTunes. It actually takes a little more effort than that. Once you head over to iTunes, you can see it, and I think you can even listen to the shows. But in order to create content, create a comment on iTunes, you need to download its stupid software and run it on your computer, install it, and then head over to our link here or whatever, and it'll take you into the actual application, and there you can leave comments. So if you're going to go to all that effort, we do appreciate it a lot. We really do, because there's a lot of people over there listening to podcasts, and we do post the show up as a podcast. A lot of this is audio, so we don't do that much on the screen. So I think it can appeal to a lot of people that are listening to podcasts out there, but there's a lot of competition. So anything that you do over there to help us out, we really appreciate. And then if you're going to go over there and do all that, then take the time to watch some of the other shows that are out there. I've got the I Hate Guns podcast. I'd appreciate if you would click on that one. But Never Enough Ammo, Yankee Marshall, others are out there. There's other podcasts that are gun related. Find a couple that you like or that you've heard of before and give them a like as well. Where if you're going to go to all the trouble of installing the software, spread that effort around. And then feel free to uninstall it. I've done that. I don't run it on my machine because it takes too much resources. So I install it occasionally and when I need it, and then I uninstall it. Next would be our YouTube. Like Daniel likes to say, we're trying to get the subscribers up to 1,000 over there. It's just sort of a goal that we set, and we'd like to encourage people that are listening to the show to check out, head over to Gun Channel or to YouTube and find our channel and give us a like. That's a direct link to it. And then we're on Instagram and Twitter. So if you're on Instagram, we're about to start talking about the hashtag Daily Gun Show. But that's one way that you can participate in the show and get and participate in the show, because we're going to go through and look at some of our Instagram pictures here in a bit. So that was
Instagram is fun.
Yep. So that was that segment.
And follow us on the Daily Gun Show Instagram as well.
Not just Daily Gun Show.
Yeah, you're right.
Doing a Dano with the Daily Gun Channels.
The Daily Gun Channels. All right, now we've thoroughly confused everybody. All that spot was ineffective. We have to pay ourselves back for all that time. All right, so
Daily Gun Show.
Daily Gun Show. Daily Gun Show.
Daily Gun Show. Daily Gun Show.
Now it seems like we have an echo. A bunch of people were like, "Oh, there's an echo. I'm leaving." I'm not listening. So we're about to talk about the hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown. Last week, I wanted to go back and check. We had 188 posts last week, 251 this week.
Nice.
So we got like 60 or 70 posts. Is what you're saying?
I don't know if there's a way to calculate it, but it was
63.
188 last week, and
63.
it was 251, approximately 63. My sources tell me that approximately 63 hashtags have been used since then.
Give or take none, you know.
I suppose you guys want to go through them now? Should I go to the last one that we know? Or no, wait, I have to. Hashtag Daily Gun Show. Oh, these are the tops. I have to go past the tops to the recents, and then should I just scroll down until we get to last week's? Or is that even going to be possible with 88 of them or whatever it was? 86.
I think it should go to recent.
It looks like these are already the car that we've seen a million times last week. That won, didn't it? And then the 42.
Are we on the recents already? Did we scroll past it, or are we just scrolling willy-nilly?
I'm
What are we doing?
Look, I'm just going up still. I'm on recents. Most recents. I don't think it's given me the
Oh, see, there's most recent right there. Let's start right there.
Okay, I was just going to say scroll down until we see last week's and then go back so we know where we're at. But we go that way. So we start with this one. My screen.
Meh. Sorry. Actually, is Moon even out there? Did that joke even work? Well, he's out there, but he's not out there.
Oh, they're asking about the AK-47 one. I'm not going to cut doing it. I'm just not going to be able to do it every week. I need to make money, so I'm going to probably do it once a month for a while, see if anybody else is interested in it, if we get any response. So the AK one will be just probably once a month for a while. Well, you guys doing this? Moon is out there, but he's just a little Z.
Yeah. Is this thing not working? That's what I just said, but okay.
So.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. So anyway,
I like that one, especially today.
Here's a quote.
Yeah, that one's cool.
There's a quote for Bob right there. They'd probably steal it.
He should.
Pink, I'm guessing.
Always nice to see Pink out there representing. And that's one of those dang SKSs. No, that's a SVT. My bad, right?
Yeah.
I almost did it, didn't I?
A little more.
Do it.
A little more expensive. Although I think he'll trade you for an SKS if it's a Russian SKS.
I don't know that he would trade me that for it. The Smegs, the Smeganata.
This is where he's trying to win his own prizes. Some kind of
No, I'm just trying to support Every Second Matters.
Nice, good job. Now, see, I'm sorry. This is awesome, in my opinion, right here. That's awesome.
Definitely is, man. I like that one. Oh, now we really do have an echo.
It went away.
That one's cool too.
I like that one.
I think it's 10mm crown. He's trying to say that 10mm is king of everything.
I guess so. Now that's an interesting little thing happening there.
Because of the time, the timing, I guess, with the XD thing, you think that was intentional or unrealized?
When was it posted?
Today? Well, a day ago it says maybe yesterday.
Then yes.
You think it was inadvertent?
No. I think that's probably his gun, and he was trying something new. As for will there be any backlash? I don't think we'll give Mike too much backlash about it, personally. Nice. The great outdoors.
Does this even count, though? Because this is Chris's picture that this guy reposted.
Oh, no, that did, no, then that does not count.
And I'm pretty sure he added some of this stuff. Chris doesn't have that many tags, does he?
Well, the next picture is Chris's, so let's find out.
Oh, he does. I'm sorry, he does. He totally does. He puts that many in.
It's
So
a nice
this-
picture.
good
And you see
background
right
as
above
always.
that, You see right above the TLR1 or whatever, where he put his watermark or his name, right in the flashlight.
On the actual writing, yeah, I dig it when people when they repost it and they think they're stealing from you, don't realize that you already got it tagged.
Like yeah, that's pretty smooth. I think that I hope that took more than a minute. Okay, so Mike's learning the overlay or whatever it is. I like that picture.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how he says, "Don't forget to watch." See, he's out there trying.
Yeah, I'd say of anybody, he's got the most effort out there for posting daily gun show for sure.
So let's say thanks, Mike. Good job. Much appreciation. To James.
Another bat.
Now, what is that? Oh, that's what's that
it?
attached to? Like a cooler or something?
Yeah, it's a Yeti cooler, I think.
Oh, nice.
Or at least that style, right? With the big heavy rubber latch.
Yep, I think you're correct.
Then we got this one, comic book one. Obviously an appeal to Yankee.
Hopefully we don't get sued. I'm joking.
You think that Captain America is so mad because there's a Springfield right in front of him? Mad because of the lack of freedom?
Man, it could be a little bit of both.
It kind of looks like the XD is swishing his what is it, adamantium shield?
It's a vibranium and something else mix.
Oh, okay.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm just glad you said it, not me, because.
Oh, yeah. Let the engineer tell me all about the metallurgy. Yeah. I know you got a spreadsheet about that shit, Smeggy. You can't fool me.
Why did yours skip all of these NRA ones from Tony? Yours like in a different order.
You're following through on yours and it's different? That's what I'm saying. I'm putting in hashtag daily gun show.
Yeah, that's what I have. But I was following right along, but right after Chris's, I have like 6 of them from the NRA show.
Oh, well, look, because it says 258. So Tony's pulling one of them. He's doing
last second editions.
Yeah, he's changing them right now. He did that last week too. So that's
come on, Tony. Use the hashtag when you're using it.
259. So now they'll be in here. See, that one wasn't here before, was it?
No.
That's in the top post. That might have just jumped up.
Okay.
Anyways,
maybe just look on the big page for right now, I guess.
So since he added the tags, though, they show up chronologically. So that's what it is. Oh, I can hit the button on, I think. I don't know who those people are. I know who one of those guys is.
I know 2. I recognize 2 of them in that picture. And they were both from Tennessee. I like the Eagle patch, dude. Especially the PVC one. That's a nice fucking patch. Excuse me.
The AZCDL? Oh.
Yeah, I really do like that patch. That's Chad. All right, I recognize everybody in that one. And then the moon. I like the site post.
And then we're back to ones from before, I'm pretty sure.
No,
this one's new because I really like this one.
Kind of been adapting more and more and more on the patch and sticker panel. Like this one has like 4 or 5 guns this time.
Yeah, going back to Chris's there, I like that he has the mug and all that stuff in it.
I'm just looking.
Yeah, now he's got the mug, the daily. Oh, how many daily gun show mugs do you think are out there, man?
1.
Yeah,
pretty sure 1.
And there it is.
Yeah, I'm really glad that he took my criticism to heart and put all of the good patches in the background and the other one on the side view.
Nice.
Because he used to take it from the other angle.
Hey, I don't like the way that sounds.
But no, I like the one right after this, though. I mean, yeah, Chris is rocking it. But
yeah, Mr. Wright. That is Mr. Wright, correct?
Correct.
That's
and we
so much
know
awesomeness in one picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought the last poster. That was my poster, and then that was like the cell phone bill. So definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, we got a Tucson entry.
I like Enrique. He's good. He's a good cat.
Tucson, see right there. Boom.
You know, I watched a movie that was mostly made in Tucson last night.
What movie is that?
My Science Project. They were even, I think, at the what is it? The Pima. What's the name of the airplane graveyard you got?
The the Davis Monthan Air Force Base.
Okay, yeah, that was in it, and it does have an extra super awesome GTO in it. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about hashtag showdown.
Hashtags. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I just didn't know that this movie was made in Tucson. I like to watch movies made in Tucson. It's because I can see if they knew anything, if I know where they're at.
Oh, and I recognize that I didn't realize that a lot of the phrases that I still use today were from that movie.
Like this one here, if I looked at it, I should be able to figure out just where that is because I've lived here a long time.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's Broadway over where that cashew cow is, I bet. That's what I'm thinking. That's where they make ice cream out of cashews. There's no cows involved. It's delicious.
Wow.
That is horrible what they did to the GTO.
I disagree. But anyway, let's get back to the hashtag showdown.
Those original hoods are worth so much money.
Gotta remember, it was 85. It was Song and Dance.
Oh, shit. What did I do? Okay, here we go. So, I don't know. I didn't think I watched this one. So, Smeggy in some kind of empty disco.
Is that a people mover or something?
That's at the Detroit airport, the tunnel going from Terminal A to Terminal B and C.
Okay.
Seizures all day long. It's fun.
No doubt.
It's enough to make you ill. Like, just in case you got to go to another flight, let's make you go first.
No, I gotta admit, this is the first time I've seen this logo with the Georgia peach and stuff. I hadn't seen this at all yet.
It looks like a buttock.
Well, there's a reason they call them peaches, but anyway.
So Killing Time posted this one, but it's a repost, right? Or no, it's not. No, maybe it's not. So Killing Time went there. Did you meet Killing Time, Smeggy?
I did not. And I apparently didn't meet Cave Dave either. I thought I did, but I met some random person with an Every Second Matter shirt who I thought was Cave Dave, and it wasn't.
I wonder how that goes. You see somebody with a Gun Channels patch or a Daily Gun Show patch, and you all of a sudden you try and guess. You're like, hey,
well,
who are
I
you?
could have sworn on Instagram I saw earlier, because I had split up from like Pink and Ballistic and all them people, and I could have sworn someone earlier posted like, hey, just met Cave Dave. And he was wearing a Every Second Matter shirt. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that must be Cave Dave. So I just kind of said hi. I never like asked what his name was or whatever.
Now, what does one use a laser measuring tool for?
To measure stuff with lasers instead of using a tape measure?
In regards to the Daily Gun Show.
You could like use it as a rangefinder kind of thing.
Okay, there you go.
Moon. Or no?
Yep.
Well, it's my reposted Moon who's exploiting the whole ATF situation.
Yeah, which is
he's
cool,
technically not shouldering it though, right? Even though you can now, I guess.
But he put some disrespectful patches right near where he could have shouldered it. So
nice.
Also, look how long that magazine is. Is that really appropriate?
Ready for action.
I think it is. I like it.
Oh, now that's purty. Mm-hmm. That right there's purty.
So you think he was just walking around with his Henry? Or he was like, I'm going to bring this gun just to take a picture of it?
Well, maybe on one of his adventures, because is that a regular Henry or is that something different? Because look at that stock on that thing.
What do you mean?
Is that regulation length or whatever they talk about?
The
Or is
angle.
that short?
This isn't the whole gun. This is at a really extreme angle.
Okay.
I
Extreme.
don't know. I can't tell if it's a 22 or if it's a full-size caliber. Or are these golden boys? Are they 44-40s or something?
Well, sometimes they can be Golden Boys. I think they can be 44 Magnum for sure, and I bet they can be 45-70. I bet.
We're about to go live on the Daily Gun Show.
This is definitely last week.
For Pacific.
Well, that's last Wednesday, right?
Oh, I
Which
see.
would be after Tuesday.
All right. Technicalities.
We definitely didn't see this one.
Not a fan of that one, but okay.
Because of it's a FUD? Because it's empowering FUDs and you're not for that?
No, I just don't like all that, like, whatever, terrorist hunting shit and stuff. Like, yeah, terrorists are bad, I agree. And I like the message that you can defend yourself, but whatever, not a fan.
Is this legitimate? That's a Kimber grip on there, or at least a Kimber inspired grip, right? On a Remington, 1911. Ooh.
It's cocked. It's ready to rock.
And there's no safety on. So what's going on with that? He's just like,
That shit is ready to go right now. That shit is ready. I like that.
and then it looks like Raphael got a Yankee patch. So not everyone who wins the Daily Gun Show wins, quote unquote.
Come on now. I think I remember.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think I remembered. I bought my two way back in the day. So he won his for free. He's winning.
Now
this one I think was last week. Yeah.
Or maybe Smeggy's double dipping. Repost. All right. All right. So that's your choices.
I'm going with AK poster and all the AK Pro goodness.
And I'm
That's
going
my
with
vote.
the moon picture. Because that's a fucking awesome picture.
This one wasn't here a minute ago. Neither was that one. Right? Neither was this one. Oh, that's because they're on tops and not recents. Okay.
Yeah, but that's weird that they wouldn't, like, the one with all my swag sitting on my steps like that. I did that this afternoon, right
This
before I did the other Every Second Matters one.
This is all stuff you stole at the NRA show?
That's some of my swag, yeah.
Is this a patch or a sticker?
Those are all patches.
This is a patch?
What? What are you pointing at?
The Magpul banana clip.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a patch.
I do like the Magic Goggles one as well.
I really like the leather 1776. Like that's an actual leather
that's a
patch.
nice one.
Because
cool.
you had to die for you to wear that morale patch. That makes it funner.
And there's that Dan Wesson, man. Like, look at that. Dan Wesson's little tiny, like, just his signature, and then bam, repeal the NFA.
Like scribble, 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 repeal the NFA, even though nobody puts 1911 or suppressors on 1911s. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
What's going on?
I
with
would. Why would
the over here? Is that a patch or a piece of a shirt?
No, that's a patch.
I like the Ace of Spades.
Century.
I like the non-Betty Boop chick as well.
1911s work good with suppressors because that big fat round is traveling so slow it doesn't go supersonic.
Yeah, but the problem is they got the Browning brake barrel, so when they go down, you need that little goofy piece. You need the, what do they call it, at the front of the suppressor so that it can brake and not the barrel do its thing. It's not superior, like where it just works.
Like the
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like the high power. It's not superior. You know what they should do is make one for the high power, or they should make the high power. Dan Weston should make the high power. That would be perfect.
How many times in one sentence can you say the high power, Bob?
Don't dare me.
Don't challenge them.
Way more than that.
Oh, I know. I've been there.
All right, so that's an interesting picture. On your
Yeah.
fancy carpet.
Yeah.
You can tell who doesn't own a dog because of how clean this carpet is.
Oh, I used to have dogs. They just had mostly white hair, except for the black one, but she always shed her undercoat, not the black ones.
There goes more for Raphael, who's at a dozen, I think, at this point, wins. So he's probably in the patch industry over there in Florida, supplying a bunch of people.
Nice.
Took that dog a half an hour to get up, walk about 3 feet over, and sit back down. All right, then we got this one. I don't know. This one is new to me. Guns, Gears, Guts.
Is that one of them? You put your Glock in the thing.
Yes.
That's a Roni. Rice-A-Roni.
Is this one of the listeners, or what's going on?
I'm unaware.
Is it Bob figurine? No.
That's a Mario, but that's like a redneck Mario.
What's going on with this? Gunsmithing, gunslinging on Florida's Treasure Coast. What does that mean? Is there one side of Florida is the Treasure Coast?
I guess so.
Treasure or gold?
It says treasure. Oh, he's probably the guy that posted this last week then. Is that the one that won last week?
Could be.
Maybe that's why he's continuing. All right, well, so there's another one. You put Daily Gun Show right there. Boom. Not sure it's his picture. That's the thing. Those pictures are pretty inconsistent with their lighting and their setup, so I don't know if they're reposts or what's going on.
That's a freaking abortion.
What's that?
Sorry,
No.
not the one before these guns. These guns aren't. That's.
Why is that? I don't know. Actually, that's a tight little
It's a
setup
pistol.
dude's got.
Oh God, no! I mean, get a Browning high power with a
No.
It's way cooler,
No.
way better.
Keep a
Yeah.
stick on it. It'll be the same.
You can put a 30-round stick in a high power. I mean, that's not a problem.
All right, and then we'll keep going to
I
this
think we'll
one.
just agree to disagree on that one.
Another
And
mystery.
Mr. Wright with another good one.
The idea of all these stamps here, trying to lord it over us. He's got a bunch of stamps.
Some people can afford to pay postage, I guess.
Whole book of stamps like that. Crazy. So
I like. Check it out, dude. He's got 2 hashtags, 3 hashtags on that thing, tops.
uh-huh.
Like it's straight and to the point.
Mr. Wright's a big supporter. I think we mentioned that he sent a box load of Glock stuff to be used in future stuff. So
Yeah, that was awesome. I watched that video. That was pretty freaking cool, dude.
what's going on with this one?
It's a repost,
I don't like the way it's
so it don't even matter.
Was Marco just twisting shit now when he reposts it? He thinks that's funny? I don't like it. Then we've seen this one, I think.
Yeah, I think we've been all the way through for sure.
I didn't notice the little cross on here before.
Maybe
All
it's
right.
Swiss.
Those are somehow some of the tops, but we want to usually go down. Where'd it go? Go down here to the recents. And so I'll go left to right. Bob, which one are you voting for?
I'm going to go for the one that's got the hat with all the bullets around it. I really thought that was cool.
Okay, so
I can't
Clay's
remember which one.
your crown. Bob is suggesting that 10 millimeter rules all. This one.
Yes, because it's bigger than 9mm, so it's got to be better. Yes, that one. I like that. Plus, I like the lighting. Every second matters.
Z.
The moon.
This one from Chris. Chris's moonshot or Moon's Chris shot?
Chris's moonshot. That right there. That's some smooth shit right there.
Now, if Moon had a Chris, that'd be awesome. I took a picture
Like
of
a
it.
Chris Vector or something.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Smeggy.
God, I really liked all that AK stuff, but I like Chris's moon shot also. So I'll agree with Z so that we can actually have a winner instead of just picking 4 different ones.
Nice.
Do I get a vote?
Sure.
Yeah, you get a vote.
For the hat. So now it's up between the hat and the moon. So there you go. Now it's not a complete. So now what do we do? I didn't pick one of the others. I was tempted to pick this one, which I guess I could pick, and then Chris would win because that's 3 votes for Chris. Or
Well, and plus he would have 2 for 1, and everybody else would have 1 vote for each.
Wait, you're saying that my vote should be 2?
No.
Hold on. Bob had a vote over the crown of 10 million.
Right.
You had a vote for the moon, and then Smeggy
Yep.
came and voted also for your moon.
Right.
So if I put my vote on the crown, then that's tied.
You just said you were talking about putting it on Chris's, the other one. Yeah, that's what I was responding to, not the crown comment.
All right. Well, I said it was funna vote for this one, but I decided to vote for the crown.
You and your tricky English word traps, Mr. G Webs. I tell
Well,
you.
then screw it. I'm going back to the AKs then. So I guess
Well, I was
the
going to
crown
say
wins.
that way it's head to head, and we could let our audience decide.
Or we can do that.
All right. So that's
I don't
Trust
care.
our audience to make important decisions like that?
So hurry
Okay.
up, guys. Crown or moon?
Moon.
But
Crown or
not
moon?
Food.
Clay or
Right.
Chris?
Crown.
Clay.
Crown.
Yeah, we got our votes, Bob. We're asking our audience.
Crown.
Don't make me mute you, Bob.
I'm
Thank you.
just
Should we go with the first comment or the first?
Well, then we got it. We got 2 for moon right there. 3 for moon.
4
4 for moon. 5 for moon.
But for
1
Chris,
for crown.
not 4 moon. We don't want Moon to get excited. He's got no votes.
Dude, come on. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 on
And ours and
YouTube.
Tony's
Come on.
saying
Why you got to be like that,
Archie
dude?
picks.
I'm just clarifying that there's not one vote for Moon. Moon got no votes, but the picture of a moon from Chris got all of them.
My God.
Yeah.
Yes,
The,
you are
the
correct.
picture from Chris wins.
Okay, just so that Moon knows he didn't win. I don't want Moon thinking he won something.
Moon's not even in the audience right now. Moon don't even know what's happening.
So Tony voted for the moon, and then saying that's not very well. So just do moon. All right, fine. So that means Chris wins.
Yes, finally, after what 2 or 3 weeks of trying and putting in usually more Daily Gun Show hashtags than just about any other single person. Thank you, Chris. Your hard work has finally paid off. Congratulations. You're the hashtag Showdown Survivor of the Week.
way to go.
And one of these weeks we'll figure out how to actually do this.
Yeah. But truly, Chris, you know how it works, man. You know where to go. G-Webs will put up the link for you. Or wait, actually, that's different. It works different, I think. The hashtag Showdown is different.
But then people pick patches, so we send patches. But if you want the sticker pack, which was originally going to be it, then just let us know that it was for the thing, and then eventually for the showdown, and eventually we'll have a separate one for the showdown. That's 3 winners today, folks. That's the pop quiz, that's the answer ambush that Z couldn't show up for, and then the hashtag Daily Gun Show.
What was the answer ambush? I'm intrigued. What was the answer ambush?
Nobody addresses the answer ambush after it happened.
Well, come on now.
I'm trying to be like what's that thing called? The Inquisition.
Yeah, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
You remember, it was something to do with the number of 40 round cartridges that were in that blender minus 10 plus 4. Or something like that.
32?
Oh, come on.
See, any kind of person could be a guest to this show or a host of this
42.
show.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, we don't. All right,
Nice.
so then we can end on this, right? We can close this. Thanks everybody for participating in this showdown's over, right?
Yes.
Yeah, hashtag
And
Showdown
Tony's
has been
saying that,
completed.
It's been
that
done.
we're encouraging people to edit pics and that instead they should just make good photography. Well, whatever. It is what it is. But maybe people should use the Daily Gun Show hashtag Daily Gun Show when they take the pick to begin with, and not try and add it in 3 days later, right before we're about to pick a winner. Maybe
Yeah,
we
I
appreciate
think
when they're
honestly
the
we
first
are
time.
just encouraging people to utilize the hashtag Daily Gun Show. That's what we are encouraging.
Well, and more than that. So let me go back to screen share if I still have everything open there. We're encouraging that for sure because of the participation in the show on Tuesdays. But also just go over and type in hashtag Daily Gun Show and check out some of your fellow listeners. There's other people out there that listen to the show. We've got 40 something people listening right now. These are some of those people. There's 260 in there right now. So if you're wondering who some of those people might be, click on these and then follow them. So and my computer doesn't freeze or whatever.
And that's one that you posted, G. I do like that one with the guy in the beret.
Yeah, I got
And
this
it's a what do you call it? A reverse photo or whatever, though, right?
How many ways can you tell this is reversed? There's like a million.
Because the magazine's on the wrong side, just for starters.
Well, his beret's wrong, number one, and then his flash is on the wrong side for two, and then U.S. Army's on the wrong side. His jump wings are on the wrong side, and he's buttoned up like a girl shirt. He'd also have to be some weird ass contortionist to shoot that thing left-handed like that. So yeah, it's a reverse photo. But this is from a 1984 Soldier Fortune magazine. They probably put it in there because it would have looked weird the other way, I guess. They wanted his, I don't know, maybe they just didn't realize it was reversed. Anyway, that was neat. It couldn't help catch my eye when I saw it. I'm like, what's wrong with that Sten? Like, I've never seen a Sten backwards like that. And then I figured it out. But anyway, we're encouraging people to use the hashtag to find out, to network with some of the other listeners over on Instagram, because that's really the point of this. We're just trying to inspire people that are creating content to get together and realize that your content is super critically important. It has nothing to do with the number of views you get, but it has to do with the content that's on the internet. So the more of us that are able and willing and participating in creating content of all kinds, go look at our YouTube channel, our Instagram accounts. They're all of our interests and guns. So that's the kind of stuff that's going to keep us as individuals free. So anyway, that's part of it.
Hey, Cave Dave out there has a question. What am I doing wrong? Cave Dave, literally it is one word, right? Hashtag Daily Gun Show. I think that's it.
Yeah, no spaces.
No spaces, no underscores, no dashes, and I don't think that it has to be any capitalization. It's not required for the hashtag to work or whatever. So I'm not sure.
I think last week we decided he was adding spaces.
Yes, I think you are correct.
And also, what you're doing wrong is not being the person I met at NRA, because I thought that's who you were. That's so funny.
Nice.
I met a random person. I don't know who he is. But anyways, what else we got going on the show here? I'm about ready to get out of here. We got more show stuff, obviously, right?
This is what it was like when Smeggy met that guy who he thought was Cave Dave.
Thanks, Ricky. He's still not as dumb as Trev.
And then it was like,
No, that's funny.
And the guy's kind of looking at him like, okay, is this some kind of special greeting?
It's a Sam Squanch. Anyways.
all right, trying to find my thing again. So do we have a gun shop for today?
Doesn't sound like it.
Blah, blah. Let's talk about Moss Pond. Since Meggie was just in Atlanta, we're sure he visited Moss Pond.
I most certainly did not.
Yeah, and Moss Pond's not actually in
I
Atlanta.
hear it's pretty far away from Atlanta, actually, because people were talking about maybe going, and it was like, oh, that's like really far away.
Oh, it's on the south side of the city.
No, it's like outside
It's
of
like
the city.
An hour and a half or something each direction,
No.
correct?
I've been there. It's nowhere near. Driving is not that. Okay, anyway, so we don't have a gun shop today, so show's failing. Do we have any gun shops coming in from the audience? No. Okay, so we'll put that out there. There's some lag, so maybe we'll get a recommendation for one while we talk about the movie of the day. So every day we try to talk about a gun-related movie, something you might not have seen in a while, or if you're one of the youngins listening to the show, something you ain't seen yet. And today it is called Taking of Pelham?
Pelham. Yep. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Now, I never liked it mainly because of the title. It was confusing to me. And then I finally seen it and I kind of liked it.
Now, did you see the remake or the original with Walter Matthau? And
first, I seen the new one, which is not the same. It's kind of the same, but not really. And then I sought out the first one and liked it better because it's old.
And you know what made me think of it is the remake was on, like, I don't know, 3-4 days ago or whatever. And basically that's what made me think of the original one, because I saw the original one before they made the remake, and I'm like, oh, Walter Matthau and Quinn from Jaws, and all that kind of stuff. Like this is gonna be a dumb movie. Why am I gonna watch it? But it happened to be on one of those days where it must have been raining or something, and I watched it. And dude, it's a good movie. Like it's it's drama for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's drama, but like good acting. It's not like it's a super duper gun movie, but there's definitely guns and gun play in the movie itself for sure. And I just honestly feel like it's a good movie in general. Like I'm not saying like as far as cop dramas go, I don't, is it in my top 50? Yeah. Cop dramas, is it in my top 25? Maybe.
So if you're talking just cop dramas, just cop movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying it's still in my top 25, I think.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it probably is in my, I don't know if it's in my top 25. It's definitely in my top 50, but I thought you said all movies. It's not in my 50 of all movies, just cop movies for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it's in my top 50 of all movies because there's just so many other movies or whatever.
So it's basically though some kind of bank heist or something where they use the subways.
Original one.
What?
Does it hurt when you stroke like that, Bob?
I think you said the original one's good.
They're actually
Yes.
whole.
Never heard of it.
Maybe try restarting, Bob. You're really breaking up pretty bad.
No, I just say right now the original one, they were hijacking the subway and wanted $1 million.
Right.
Oh, okay. The first one's a bank scam or something, right? They're bank robbery or something. Or am I thinking of
it's
Precinct 13 one?
Remake of Assault on Precinct 13 is different than the original as well. It's mostly in the taking of the passengers and holding them ransom for $1 million, which the difference between like the 60s or 70s, whenever the original was, and the difference between the mid 2000s one is one, the guy's asking for $1 million, like almost straight out of what's the dude with the teeth and
The comedy.
yeah, the where Dr. Evil, says $1 million and they all laugh when he gets on thought or whatever. Because then by comparison, the other one and the new one, what is it? How much did they ask for? They asked for $10 million or something like that. Because it was literally the amount that they could get in one day from the comptroller and everything like that. So there's a little different action going on. You can definitely tell that it's an older movie. It's got older movie production values and stuff like that. But I still feel like it's a good movie. And I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. And Walter Matthau not really being the jokey guy. Just because you're loud doesn't mean we can hear you.
Interesting guns as well.
I don't really remember the guns from it, but it was mostly just them waving them around to threaten the people in the train, right? They didn't really have a gun.
People got shot here and there in the movie for sure.
Well, I'm going to give it 1 thumbs up because I have not seen it in a while, and then I don't remember enough.
Yeah, no worries. That's why we do this gun movie of the day, so to potentially inspire people to potentially watch some of these movies.
Yep. All right, looks like Smeggy had to run to head over to the Hit or Miss show, which he does with Night Strike every Tuesday at 9 p.m. So they're starting. Oh, that was Bob.
He's sitting right there, yeah.
I was about to say bye, though, so thanks for the... I'll walk over my own promotion. Yeah, Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. Night Strike and me.
Thanks, Megs.
And other people's.
Right on. Thanks. Well, we're about to end it anyway because Smeggy's leaving. All the chicks leave, so we just shut it down. We do have a gun history, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Today's OBL.
What is that? What does it say?
It says OBL.
So Osama bin Laden
6 years ago.
Killed by U.S. Forces SEALs during a raid on his compound. Was he killed during the raid, or was he killed out in the ocean? They just dumped him in the ocean?
The theory, as told, is that he was double tapped and then they took the body with them.
Right on.
Now,
So,
I wasn't there. I can't say one way or another, but I got to go on with what they tell me, right?
so I didn't realize that. I didn't see that in the thing, so that's interesting.
I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff. I just can't happen to, okay, like think about it. This is day like 3 or 4 of the LA riots, because that goes on till the 4th, doesn't it? 5/4, if I remember correctly. So like this is probably when LA's freaking burning pretty bad, the dude had already been pulled out of the truck and beaten with a brick and like all that crazy shit that happened. Like shit was pretty much at a fever pitch by today.
Wait, no, this is 97, right?
I think so. No. Was it really that long?
That was a while ago. I guess I could just look.
It might be 1997, I guess.
It was after the assault weapons ban. It's 1992, so I guess it was before the assault weapons ban. So, but the thing is, it happened for whatever 6 days, 7 days, or whatever it is, and talk about it was pre-internet. Definitely in '92, there was no freaking internet, at least nothing like what we got today. And so the only way you got information was from the TV and radio and the news predominant source. Still, there wasn't a lot of alternatives, and that was absolute coverage, like nothing but that coverage. Talk about trying to induce fear to create, locking visitors in. That was definitely an eye-opener. Living through that was an experience. I guess 6 days. But the coverage obviously went on a few days after it, because they didn't know when it was actually happening, when it ended. I mean, after the fact, you can say, okay, this is when it started, this when it finished. But while it was happening, it was just like, the world's ending. This, the 60s were nothing. This is, now it's the 60s times 30 years.
I didn't really get that out of it. I got, there was potential for riots in other places due to the ruling and stuff like that. But what it really showed me was that people in LA in particular were batshit crazy, I guess, was what I took from it. It was a couple of years. It was 2 years before I had just moved out here. So I was out of high school, but I think maybe in college or something like that. So it was one of those things where it was like a bazillion miles away from me, but at the same time, it just showed me what some people are willing to do when they feel that there's no repercussions for their actions. So in anything, I saw a little bit of a slice of human nature potential happening, and it just made me understand reality a little bit better.
True.
The mob can turn on you at any time.
I mean, that's true, and I don't think. I mean, it's definitely an eye opener to see it, to happen. But that's the natural tendency or whatever of a large population that's under stress or whatever. Like those outbreaks are I guess for me at least, the eye opener was the reaction to it, both in the news distribution of the information, and then the way people interpreted it, and despair. There was it was little, at least from what I remember. I didn't remember, like, if it would have happened under a Reagan, there would have been a bit of it's okay, yes, it's happening, but here's some sage advice, or here's some stability. I just don't remember.
Or martial law or something. Like and here's the other thing, it didn't
feel any better, honestly.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, there may have been more of an effort. Here's the problem, though. Martial law, more people would have died. I mean, straight up, and to me, this was one of the, like, I remember, like, the Watts riots and, the riots in Detroit and stuff like that. Now, when I say I remember them, it's not like I was alive at the time, but it was something that was taught in school, that these are big deals. this is what can happen time to time. It was never really pushed on you like it was like an inevitability or something to be fearful of or anything like that. It was one of those, the way it was taught to me, or the way I took it was like a life lesson to be learned. Like, these things can happen. And then, so like for my actual lifetime to, be 19, maybe 20, 18, 19 or 20 when this is happening as a young adult, like seeing the way the real world is and stuff like that. Like, it was pretty huge, man, for me anyway. It was one of those things that's a big deal.
Yeah, I already lived here, so I was a lot closer to it than when I was a kid, and I was on my own for the first time. So it was definitely an interesting time to be around, and trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Oh, and DF2 Dottie says more of what people would have died, the rioters. Actually, if martial law had come down hard, all kinds of people, not just the rioters, would have died. Because there would just been more collateral damage than there already was.
Yeah, I remember '92. This was a time of like nobody would have been happy with martial law. I mean, nobody would be happy with martial law now, but even back then, that was
right.
Good thing they didn't do martial law. I think that could have accelerated some of the other.
Well, I think the theory was that, they'll just tire themselves out, or they'll just run out of steam, and yet this ended up both proving that and disproving that. Okay, it's like, yeah, they'll tire themselves out after a week of destroying shit. Would they have stopped? Here's the thing: do we know what would it have taken for them to stop earlier or not get started? I don't know that there's a definitive answer for that. I really don't think there is, because what is it? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it's tough to try to 2020 hindsight to some simple conclusion or whatever. Obviously, it was a culmination of a bunch of tension that released when the coverage of that once his face getting out of him.
Well, it wasn't. I don't even know that it was that. It was the acquittal of the officers, I think, was why they rioted. I don't know that it was. You know what I'm saying? I thought that it was the acquittal of the 4 officers or whatever was what caused it, as opposed to the actual happening of it to him.
Right. Well, but okay, you're right.
Now, granted, that was a slow burning fuse. Don't get me wrong. It probably started the second that tape started making tours on the news or whatever, and it got out there. Like, people were probably pissed from either that moment or before. Like, that was that was anyway.
All right. So I don't believe what Sean's saying out there, that if under dire circumstances for a few days, that's what it's going to resort to. I don't think so. There's a lot of self-sufficient people out there. We see a lot of victory gardens. You'll see people become self-sufficient at a local level, because obviously you still got to eat, whether or not the state is there to give you food somebody else paid for. So it wouldn't necessarily be pleasant everywhere, but not everyone would just resort to destroying everything. That's a small minority of the people that do that. Anyway, we got kind of off topic there, talking about history, right? So
right.
I think that's about it. We're probably eating into hit or miss at this point.
Did he do the Browning Auto 5 or before he left, or
Bob? No, he doesn't care about gun of the day. So I'll move it down to tomorrow, because we can just ditch that. He won't remember. He'll be like, oh yeah, I was going to talk about that one. All right, so that means tomorrow. Man, I made this link way too big. I think I'll just kill it because we don't need it anymore.
Yeah, that link was huge, by the way.
Well, we were in Every Second Matters, and then Dano and Bob were acting like they didn't know where we were, because we ran Every Second Matters like 2 minutes into this show. So I made sure that they could see that link, because they were both texting me.
Okay, I got it. I got it 100%. I got it.
Before we talk about tomorrow, though, let's remember that there are some things happening in Illinois, and it still needs to go through the governor. And if you want to participate in trying to affect change there, the number for the Illinois governor is 217-782-0244. I'll repeat, 217-782-0244. And that's the information line for the governor. So you can give them some feedback on the potential legislation there in Illinois. that, did we write the number down? I don't think we did. So if somebody's got the number, we can repeat that again. But anyway, tomorrow will be Wednesday, so we'll talk about CCW topics, alternative self-defense tools specifically. Then in the entertainment section, we're going to be talking about the most common guns used in movies. And then we have a tactical quiz on Wednesdays. Of course, all the stuff that we hit on a regular basis as well. So we will see you same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Yeah. And I guess we like to end the show with a quote. Definitely like to thank everybody for participating today. And we had 3 audience participations today. That was fantastic. Excellent, guys. Thank you so much. Of course, this is the standard like, share, and subscribe. Hashtag Daily Gun Show. Any questions or comments, please let us know over at dailyshow@gmail.com. And let's see what. Nice.
Wait, what?
What? Unprecedented?
Ambush right at the end credits? Only for
we could do that.
Stuck around to the very end of the show. Everybody else that ditched out of here is not even eligible because they're not here to hear it. Oh my goodness. So that means the first person on either side to tell us the exact number of hosts to this show will win today's answer ambush. The exact number of hosts of this show on either the Gun Channel side or the YouTube side. And we're not seeing answers on either side. Windbreaker.
Well, actually, that's technically an answer, but that's a wrong answer.
Take cover? Nope. Wow, there's a massive lag. It was a good second of the month. 5 is the correct answer from Arctic.
Nice.
Arctic, the first to realize that he was being answer ambushed and to take immediate action. So we're going to send you to the same place we sent everybody else, the pop quiz page over at dailygunshow.com. And now I'll let Z finish off the show.
I was going to say that Arctic, what is it, Arctic Monkey or something like that? What is it? Arctic Fire. Arctic Fire. That makes you the second answer ambush survivor of the day. So congratulations. And yeah, we were pretty much just going with the...
Smeggy does it like this. Answer ambush.
Okay. Well, he left, so he's got to do his thing. So let's see. Where were we? Like, share, subscribe. Hashtag Daily Gun Show. DailyGunShow@gmail.com. All the good stuff. Again, thank you so much for the participation, folks. We really appreciate it. So today's is by one of Bob's heroes, Theodore Roosevelt. There has never been yet a man in our history who led a life of ease whose name is worth remembering. That's one of them backhanded compliments, I think. But thanks, everybody. Aloha. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.